Hi there, my name is Izzy Martinez. I work here at the Branson Chamber of Commerce and I help run the Community Support Group. The Branson J1 Community Support Group was formed in January of 2016 by several sponsors, employers, and city mayor, as well as community organizations. Today, you will actually be hearing from many of these community leaders to talk about health, safety, and much more. The resources provided in this video are here to help you have a happy and healthy summer, helping you make the most of your Branson experience. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email us at info@bransonj1.com. Now we're going to take this moment to talk about the sponsor's role and things your sponsors will need from you.
All right, my name is Mercedes and I'm going to be covering this part of the orientation, which goes over what your sponsor really does for you. So basically what your sponsor is here for is just to make sure we're responsible for your health, your safety, and your welfare. Most of your sponsors, you should know who your sponsor is. It's gonna be on your DS form, but your sponsor is gonna have a 24-hour, emergency assistant line and also, a support team. And you should all be very familiar with who your sponsor is and, the contact information. One of the things that the sponsors are responsible for, and it's very important for us, are these 4 things that I'm going to go over. It's very important that you guys remember this, and most of you guys should already have gone over this when you were in your home countries, and also as soon as you arrived, your sponsor should have gone over this with you. So we'll just go over it one more time. The first thing that's super important and all of you guys should know how to do is register for CVIS. When you register for CVIS, this allows the Social Security Administration office to know that you are here, and it enables them to start creating your Social Security number for those of you who are here for the first time. It also allows your sponsor to know that you're here, that you made it safe, and that way your sponsor is not wondering where you're at, if you guys made it or not, and we don't have to reach out to your home country or home agency to find out where you're at. The second thing is tell us your address. It's very, very important that you guys tell us your address, and you have to make sure that you give us a room number. A lot of you guys will be staying in a hotel or a motel or even like a studio housing setting, and so you guys will have room numbers. So make sure that you're not just putting, for example, Kings Quarter 226 Expressway, but you're also adding room 101. This allows us, as your sponsors, to know where you're at. We want to know where you're at just for your safety. If anything were to happen to you, or if something, were to occur, we would want to go into your room or want to, make sure where you're at. And so having this room number really helps us to just track you down easier. The third thing is gonna be report your second job. As a lot of you guys know, you guys are allowed to have a second job. You guys will need to make sure to report it beforehand though. A lot of questions will come up about this. If you guys start getting a second job before letting your sponsor know, that's not allowed. You guys need to make sure that you are reporting your second job even before that. The second job is gonna have a job offer very similar to your first job offer contract, and we need that to be signed by a manager or a supervisor at your second job. We also need additional documents from your second job, just like your first job. And so if we do not have these forms, really you guys are not allowed to work at that second job. So reporting your second job to Department of State, this really allows us to make sure that you are working at a job that meets the requirements under Department of State. Some jobs you guys will not be allowed to work for example, like in a medical or even as an Uber driver or overnight jobs. All of these jobs basically are just to keep you safe, to make sure that you guys are not working in jobs that are gonna overextend your hours or jobs that are not gonna be paying you fairly. And that's the reason we need for you guys to report your second jobs. And then the fourth and final thing, as you guys should know, is check in monthly. You guys need to be checking in monthly. This really allows your sponsor to make sure that you guys, as we said, that you guys are okay, that you guys are actually meeting the criteria of this program. As you guys know, this is really like a cultural program. And so checking in monthly allows us to know, what kind of culture activities are you guys doing? Are you guys making the most out of your time? Are you guys getting paid fairly? Are your employers treating you guys right? Are you guys, really going out there and doing everything you should be doing that meets the criteria of this program? And so this is very, very important to your sponsor. Your sponsor will be sending you an email, so it's important that you guys are checking that email. Those emails are gonna ask you, to be checking in monthly. And so a lot of the sponsors are gonna have like a time, like a deadline for when you guys need to respond. So make sure you guys are checking and that you guys are doing your monthly check-in on time, because we do need that every month. And then the other thing that we really like to encourage is that you guys just stay connected with your sponsors. You guys might have sponsors that are on the ground, and if you don't, you should definitely have like a contact information for your sponsor. So make sure that you guys are connected with them. We are here to help you guys. That's our job. We just want to make sure that you guys are doing okay, that if anything comes up, that we are helping you. If you guys are being maybe treated unfairly or not getting the hours, or the job is not what you guys thought before you guys came here, that's really what we want to be here for, just to make sure that you guys are having the best experience in the summer that you guys can. So just to go over that one more time, just make sure you guys are registering for CVIS, and this should be done. I didn't mention this, but you guys have 72 hours to do this. So as soon as you guys land, you guys have 72 hours to just check in and register for CVIS. The longer you guys wait for that, the longer it's going to take for everything to kind of kick in, including your Social Security, your insurance, all of that. So make sure that as soon as you guys get on the ground, you guys are registering for CVIS. Second, report your second job. I know a lot of you guys are anxious as soon as you get here to start a second job. Just make sure that you guys are contacting your sponsor, getting that information, the paperwork that needs to be done before you start that second job. Then tell us your address. Make sure you guys, as we mentioned, that you guys are providing a room number. This is gonna really be important for us, just so that we know that you guys are safe and everything. And then fourth and final, just make sure you guys are check in with your sponsor. And even if we don't send you an email for you to check in, if you guys have any questions or anything comes up, you can reach out to us, and we'll always make sure that we are contacting you or replying within a day or two. So your contact information, it should be on your DS, as I mentioned in the beginning. Your DS has your sponsor. If you guys don't know who your sponsor is, or if you guys for some reason forgot or just are unaware how to contact your sponsor, you should all have your DS that's provided by your sponsor, and that information will be on that form. And so you guys can find it there, and also the contact information for them.
Documents for Social Security, number application. So there's 4 things you're really going to need for this. The first one is going to be your DS form for the current year. You will need your passport, a sponsor letter, and your Social Security, your application form for that as well. Now we're going to cover medical care. You want to always make sure that you have your card with you so that you are aware medical facilities will be listed in your handbook as well as on the BransonJ1.com website. Whenever you do need to go, just once again, remember to bring your insurance card, and you can contact your sponsor if you have any medical issues or questions pertaining the coverage that you have. Here's a resource that could really come in handy. Cox Health offers virtual visits where you can let the doctor come to you with no expected costs, no driving, and no waiting. So a virtual visit is pretty much, let's say if you have a common condition such as allergies, stomach flu, etc., and you would like to have a confidential video consulting service, you can do that. It's going to be similar to using FaceTime or Skype. So your visit will be with a private qualified Cox Health medical professional. So as long as you have a smartphone or a computer, you can make an appointment. The steps below are to kind of help you get started for first-time users. So you would download the Video Connect app, and you can start your visit and select that you're in the state of Missouri. You would then enter a plan code or check the box stating that you do not have a plan code. Then you complete your registration form and you're good to go. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and call the numbers below. So one of them is 417-269-8633, and they'll be able to help you get connected. So the Taney County Health Department has provided us resources to kind of make sure that you have an enjoyable summer experience. And one of those activities that we expect people to do is enjoy the outdoors while they are here. But with the outdoors come bugs. So we're just going to cover a couple of critters that tend to be in our area and what you can do if you encounter any of them. So we will start off with chiggers. So what they are tiny red mite. They're like little insects. They do leave itchy little swells around ankles, knees, wherever they tend to bite. But they're not known to carry any diseases. So they are difficult to see. But if you do get bitten, you usually end up seeing a little bit of itchy redness, kind of you see in the photo there as well. But it is very easy to prevent. You want to make sure that you use insect repellent whenever you go out to prevent any of these bug bites, as well as clothing to cover the majority of your body while you are out enjoying nature. But what if you do get bitten, right? So a way to kind of combat that is very simple, actually. You want to take a bath or a shower and wash your clothes in hot water. You will have a little bit of itching, but you want to make sure that you don't scratch wherever you do get bitten. And if you do have a little bit of an issue there, you can even purchase an anti-itch cream. And then after a few days to a week, you should see those bumps, those red marks disappear on you. If you do have any other itching or swelling that has become to the point where it's really uncomfortable, just make sure that you see a doctor. Now we'll talk about bed bugs. So bed bugs are reddish brown, flat little bugs that you see in a little photo description there. You most likely see them near bed, which is why they are having their name. So just to prevent them, you want to make sure that you're checking along your mattress, and you want to make sure that if you do see any bed bug or anything that seems along the like, that you get that reported in. If you get bit, it will disappear. You will have a little bit of itchy as well. And you want to, once again, resist the itching, and it will disappear after a few days. If you do have any other complications, once again, you want to make sure that you see a doctor. And then lastly, we have ticks. So ticks are pretty much little mites with 8 legs. They come in different shapes and colors depending on the species. So one thing you want to look for, what they look like, is there's different types. So usually you'll probably hear commonly like dog ticks or deer ticks. They seem to be 1/4 of an inch in size. You usually find them in the grassy areas and weeds. It is very common across Missouri. So to prevent them, once again, you want to make sure that you put on your insect repellent. And you want to check yourself from returning from an outdoor activity like hiking, or if you're playing soccer or anywhere where it's really grassy, you just want to make sure that you check for ticks. If you do get bit, you want to make sure that you remove the tick promptly and carefully. And if possible, you always want to make sure that you take the tick off by its head. You will probably have a little bit of a reddish bump, once again itching, but it will disappear after 2 weeks. You do want to make sure you see a doctor if your rash gets bigger or develops a bullseye pattern, because that may indicate Lyme disease. If you think your bite might be infected, you also want to go ahead and check out a doctor. But usually you just remove the tick. You want to make sure that you check for them after you come from an outdoor event, and to prevent them, you want to make sure that you are covering yourself up while you are out. If you would like to know more information on any of these topics, you can feel free to check out our following resources provided for you: the Taney County Health Department, Center for Disease Control, National Institute of Health, and the Missouri Department of Conservation. People love being able to travel to a new location, but sometimes something they don't take into consideration is the culture shock.
This kind of little happy meter here kind of walks you through the process of emotions that you could possibly be feeling while you are here throughout the summer. So in the beginning, your happy meter is sky high. You are ready to go. You are ready to explore. You are ready to try new things and see what is out there, what is there to adventure in. And then you start to get a little confused. You're kind of like, wait, this is different from what I'm used to. What is the norm here? How do I kind of manage? Who do I ask questions to? Which can lead you to the hostility phase, when you're just like, man, I feel a little bit overloaded. Like my brain hurts from thinking so much. I don't know how I'm going to proceed. But then over time, with helps of your sponsors, your community that you will find and your friends that you'll make while you're here, you will start to get answers to those questions. You will start to really get comfortable and understand the flow of how things are for your summer. You really enjoy your job. And then you're in the humorous stage where you're like, okay, I got this. I love working here. I love being able to experience the culture here. Like I've adapted. It's a really good time. And next thing you know, before you know it, you'd be ready to go home. And just having a great experience that you have to take with you, back to your home countries. And so if you do feel like there's this wave of emotions that can come and go, no worries about that. It happens, and it's something that you will definitely get through. You will be able to definitely find your groove, make new friends, and you'll be sad you'll have to go home when it's time to leave, but you can always come back, and you'll always have the memories to take with you.
Hello, I'm Officer Donathan, and I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the City of Branson and the Branson Police Department. Our goal is to give you a little bit of information from the police department side in hopes that your time in Branson is safe and enjoyable. While you are here, one of the fun things to do is swim on your days off. Wherever you're staying, there may be a swimming pool, or we have several lakes in the area. One thing to keep in mind is if you're not a comfortable swimmer, make sure you take certain actions. Wear a life vest, some type of a flotation device, something to help you, because our lakes can get wavy. They may be deeper. The water's not really clear, so you really can't tell how deep it is. Maybe you and some friends might decide to go out in a boat, and that obviously is going to be deep. So do just what you're comfortable with when it comes to swimming. We do unfortunately have a few accidents every summer, swimming related, boating related, so make sure you're very careful out there swimming, again, whether it be on one of our local lakes, out having fun, or a swimming pool. And if you do decide to swim, take a friend with you. You don't ever want to go by yourself. So you guys, while you're staying here in Branson, you're most likely going to be in a hotel type setting. Inside those, they are all equipped with a smoke detector, which can be very helpful, obviously, if there happens to be a fire. Make sure those smoke detectors work. They've got a little test button up there. You can push them, make sure they sound off, because they just operate on battery. And again, it all falls back to being safe. We want to make sure those smoke detectors work that are in your room where you guys are staying. Again, there's a button. You just push it. If it's working, it'll start beeping. If there's a problem there with your smoke detector, just let the manager or whoever's taking care of the motel where you're staying, let them know. They can replace the battery for you. So another thing unique to our area is in the spring and summer times, especially in Branson, we have storms that can pop up at any time, and they can be severe, or they could be very, very mild, which again might be different than from the region of the world you come from. We do have tornadoes, severe thunderstorms. It can have some hail, and so whenever a storm like that gets close to our area or in our town, we have, within the city limits, we have tornado sirens, which will let you know, hey, there's a tornado coming. and there's certain places that you can go to that are safe. And again, it's not anything that we see every summer, every spring, but we do have them in Missouri, and it needs to be something that you're aware of in case you are at home, in your motel room, or at your job site, and you hear this siren go off. We want you to know what it is, and there'll be others around you that kind of direct you and help you in a safe place to go during a storm. So while you're here in Branson, you guys will be working and having some fun, I hope. Hopefully you make time for fun. A lot of where you will be going will be, you'll be walking, unless you decide to pick up a bicycle or get a taxi. Somebody will give you a drive, especially if it's a long way. While you're here, we want to make sure that you're safe while you're out walking about. Most of the town has sidewalks, so if you're going out, maybe it's your day off, you're just walking around seeing what's in your area. Maybe you're walking to the store to pick up a few items. Stay safe, stay on the sidewalk. Again, most of our roadways do have sidewalks, not all of the side roads do. If there's a sidewalk, please use that. If you're crossing the road, be careful. There are certain places designated for people to cross, but don't always assume that the person behind the wheel, the person driving the cars on the road, see you. Make sure you take the time to slow down, look before crossing the road, especially at night. If you guys are out and about walking at night, those people, again, that are driving, they're not going to see you as clearly. So just be very careful. Again, some of our roads are well lit better than others. So just be careful out there walking around. Probably after a few walks, you'll realize, okay, it's not easy walking around here with all the hills. Let's get a bicycle. You may decide to get a bicycle so you can get around quicker and easier. If you do that, again, you are welcome to ride bicycles on the sidewalk. Just be careful of other people that may be walking on the sidewalk. You want to make room for everybody and share the sidewalk. If you have no sidewalk, that means you're going to have to ride your bicycle on the side of the road. So again, even more caution there, because you have motorists, people driving cars. You want to make sure they see you. You're going to want to stay to the side of the road as much as you can. So if a motorist does come around a curve or over a hill and they see you, you're going to be to the side so they'll be able to avoid you, because we definitely don't want any accidents here. We don't want anybody hurt. You might find yourself out on your bicycle at night, so you're even going to be more difficult to see, harder to see by that person driving the car, even though they have headlights. So I recommend, if you are out there, especially at night on a bicycle, you could pick up a reflective vest that works very well. They don't cost a whole lot of money. It's just a vest, a lightweight vest you can put on. It's reflective, so those people in the cars, the motorists, are going to see you. There are lights, cheap battery-operated lights you can put on your bicycle that will flash or stay a steady lit while you're out riding your bicycle at night. And of course, bicycles also have reflectors, and those will help. So just be careful with your travels.
Hi, I'm Robin Lerner, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State at the U.S. Department of State, and I'm proud to oversee the J-1 Visa Exchange Visitor Program. Thank you for coming on one of our programs. And while you're here in the U.S., I want you to be safe. So watch the tips in this video very closely, and then have a great time.
When you move to America, you won't have a car, so you need to figure out how to move around. You can either walk, take the bus, or ride your bike.
While traveling abroad, the best ways to get around are walking, driving, taking the bus, or riding a bike. Walking is great, but you can't go very far.
I live very close, so I walk to work.
For me, the best way to get around is to just walk.
Driving is fast, but it's not really an option.
Very little of us kind of get a car because it's too expensive to keep it running for the whole summer.
I can't drive in the USA because I don't have a driving license.
Taking the bus is convenient, but it doesn't go everywhere.
I was walking to work every day, but then I started taking the bus because it's quick and it's really convenient.
Riding a bike is quick and easy.
Hello everybody, my name is Yanina and I'm from Ukraine and I bike to work every day.
This is my bike. When I came to US, my householder gave me that bike.
There are a few things everyone should know about riding a bike. Bike Safety 101. Step 1. Find a good bike.
We want you to have a safe bike, and some of the things I've seen is somebody buying a bike and thinking they've gotten a good deal, and then they ride to work and the pedals fall off.
Bad brakes, the chains keep falling off, tires get punctured, and they just turn into rust buckets within like 2 weeks of having them.
Look out!
Step 2. Checking a bike for safety is easy. Just use the ABC Quick Check.
Before you ride every time, do an ABC Quick Check. A stands for air. Check the air in your tires. B stands for brakes. Make sure your brakes are stopping the bike. C stands for chain and crank. Make sure the chain is on the gears. Also make sure that your quick releases are well closed and secure.
If you have a bike that's not safe, don't ride it. Bring it to a repair shop or get a new one. Step 3. Be visible. Make yourself easy to see.
Be visible out there. That means choose bright clothes to wear when you're riding your bike. You can go neon, but even a white shirt or a brightly colored shirt makes a big difference. Wear a helmet every time. It keeps you safer.
It's even more important to be lit up at night.
I try to wear bright clothes at night, and I try to make all the lights in my bicycle to be turned on.
Step 4. Follow the law. Bikers must obey the same laws as other vehicles. Learn the rules of the road and follow them. Always stop at stop signs and red lights. Ride in the same direction as traffic. Be predictable. Ride in a straight line. At intersections, point in the direction you are going. Making a left turn across traffic is difficult. If you are an experienced biker, ride into the turning lane and signal where you are going. Make sure traffic can see you. When it's safe, ride through the intersection. In areas with a lot of traffic, it's best to walk your bike on the crosswalk. Don't ride on the sidewalk. And don't be stupid. Never get in a car with anyone who has been drinking. You're better off sleeping on an old dirty couch. You can't always count on drivers to see you. Be aware.
Are you crazy?
Pay attention to your surroundings. Don't listen to music and never text and ride.
Rob, look out.
Hey, watch it!
Always be ready to brake hard or make a quick swerve.
God, some people just can't drive.
When walking, there are a few important things to know. Walk against traffic. You want to see every car as it approaches. Don't be invisible. At night, it's extremely important to wear bright colors. Having a great time while traveling and working abroad is all about having new experiences, making friends, and staying safe.
Be as safe as you can.
Know the rules of the road. Pay attention to what's going on around you.
Wear bright clothes at night.
So have a great time. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Your employer and sponsor have resources available to make your time in the United States the best.
I ride my bike every day.
I love riding my bike in America.
Every day is different in America.
I love you, America. I love my bike and I really love to be here in the US.
While you are here in Missouri, in Branson, there are certain laws and rules that may be different than where you come from, your country. in Missouri, legal drinking of age for alcohol is 21. So if you are under 21, no alcohol. You can't buy it, you can't have it. We want you to be aware of that. If you are 21 or over, you can't be purchasing and sharing with anybody over 21. All drugs, including marijuana, are illegal in Branson. They are illegal in Missouri. During your stay here, we do hope that you enjoy yourself, you have a good time. Branson is a safe community. We don't have a high crime. There's not a whole lot of crime, not a whole lot of people go to jail, but it does happen from time to time. And we want you to be safe and not be a victim. Make sure that while you are here in Branson that you keep all of your personal items, your important things locked up and secure. Make sure that you keep your room door locked at all times. Don't leave it unlocked because you may have a friend coming over and you want them to come in and you only have a key. Keep track of your key. If you lose it, let manager know. Hey, I lost my key, so they can get you a new one and maybe void the one that you did have. Lock up all of your important paperwork that you may have. Passport, visas. Obviously, those are items you definitely do not want to lose. Your money, make sure any money is locked up and not just left out. Use our banks. Our banks are very safe. Any money that you put in a bank, you can very easily get out, anytime. Go to the bank and you can get that money back out. And when it's time to go home or whenever you're ready, you get all that money back. It's just a safe place to keep your money here while you're here. You guys work very hard for your money. Unfortunately, every summer we do see a student lose that because they leave it in their room and somehow somebody gets in that room and they find it and they steal it. And that's terrible because, again, you guys come over, you're here to work and you make money to take back home with you. And the last thing we want to, we don't want you to lose that money. So don't keep a lot of money in your room or on your person. Use our banks. If you're going back a little bit, I did mention bikes. If you do borrow a bike for the summer or you do buy a bike for the summer, make sure you lock that up. We'd hate to see you purchase a bike, spend your hard working money on a bike and somebody steal it. So you may not have room in your room, your motel room where you're staying, but there's probably somewhere outside where you can buy a lock and lock that up. Again, it's not a big expense. Lock up your bike. Another safety thing, again, going back to bicycles, along with safety equipment such as the reflective vest, I encourage a helmet. You might wear a helmet. If you have any trouble at all, any problems, I hope that you don't need anybody from the Branson Police Department, but please know that if you need anything from us, feel free to reach out to us. We'll do anything we can for you to help you if you have a problem, especially if somebody's broken the law. If somebody has taken something that belongs to you, if they've stolen from you, if they have threatened you, assaulted you, any problems that you encounter, feel free. You can reach out to us. You're never bothering us. We're here for you. We're here to help you. And we're here to do what we can to make sure you have a great time here in our city. You may see our officers driving around in police cars. You're welcome to come up and visit with us and talk to us. We encourage that. If you have problems with where you're staying, the motel where you end up spending your time at when you're here in Branson, any trouble at all with your room, maybe there's something broken that you've brought to the manager's attention and they're not fixing it, or just something wrong with where you're staying, you don't have to live like that. Let management know. If the management there at where you're staying, the hotel you're staying, if they don't fix it, let your sponsor know. we want to make sure that where you guys are staying at here in Branson is clean and safe. So any problems with your lodging, where you're at, don't just assume, well, this is how it's supposed to be. Let somebody know so you can have, again, an enjoyable time while you're in Branson. And I believe that's all it for me. Again, Officer Donathan with the Branson Police Department. We hope you have a great time here.
Up next, we're going to have a talk about money and how to keep your money safe while you are here.
Hello, my name is Roshan Smith, and today I'm just going to be talking to you about money. Here in the United States, there are different types of ways that employees do get paid. They get paid by cash, they can get paid by check from their employer, or they also have direct deposit options to where you can set up a bank account. Which brings us to our next point, which keeping your money safe. You always want to put your money into the bank. Also, do not keep any large sums of money on you or your residence. Also, have your money wired to your home account once you leave the States to go back home. You want to use a debit or bank card to make purchases or also for withdrawals to withdraw funds. Do not tell your PIN number to anyone. Make sure that this is safe and secure and only you know it. Do not hold on to any payroll checks until the end of the summer. You want to deposit into your bank account if you have one established. I always say when you get paid, so that way you can get it out of the way. And then also utilize mobile and online banking. You can use this to check your balances, make any check deposits, and also transfer funds. Now we're going to dive into parts of a pay stub. There's a few parts of a pay stub, and I will break them down for you. So we have the employee name, which is going to be your name. That will be stated on there. Also, the pay period and the date. So these are going to list the weeks that you're getting paid for, as well as the date that you are being paid by your employer. It will list hours worked. So that's the total number of hours that you've worked with the employer. And you can also compare the hours worked with what's showing on your time card to make sure you're getting paid the right hours. You'll see gross pay, and gross pay is your pay before any deductions and taxes are subtracted. Which brings us to deductions. Those are amounts withheld from your employer, such as any medical insurance, 401k, or any wage assignments. And then you have taxes, which are deducted from the check to help pay for programs and services authorized by state and federal governments. This is going to be for Social Security, Medicare or Medicaid, and education for federal. And then public schools, public colleges, and universities, any Medicaid for state taxes as well. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to a bank representative. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, up next, we're going to be covering transportation. So we are going to be talking about specifically the Branson Loop. The Branson Loop is not a public transportation, but it is a shuttle service where you can get from point A to point B. This can help you get from home to work, to get some groceries, hang out with some friends if you want to go to a specific attraction. This can also help with airport pickups if you want to get picked up from the Greyhound bus station as well. And we also advise that if you would like, you can share a ride with another J1 participant as well to save money on cost. We just advise that you do not ride with strangers.
So let's talk about second jobs. If you're looking for another job, let's say you already have one while you're here in Branson, but you have some free time and would like to get another job, you are able to do that. One of the ways is by using our jobs board site, which is www.imaginebransonmo.com. As you see, this website is particularly for those that want to apply for a part-time position. You can also connect with employers, and it helps you know what jobs are available in the area. Now, don't forget to connect with us on social media. There are many ways to get together and check out what's going on in the area or fun upcoming events. One of those ways is by going on to the BransonJ1.com website or following any of our pages that you see below, at Branson Bridge USA, at Explore Branson, or at Branson Chamber.
All right, well, that is all we have for you today for this orientation. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns at all, or any problems while you're here in the summer, just make sure that you reach out to your sponsors. And thank you for choosing Branson. And don't forget, have some fun while you're here too.